Pakistan today, 7th of April 2024, India's diplomatic conflict with Sri Lanka, which leans Chinese. India assisted Sri Lanka, but after the crisis ended, Sri Lanka turned to China for more free money, which allowed the country to fall back into debt. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, has launched a diplomatic offensive against Sri Lanka in an astute attempt to win the general elections scheduled for April 19. Modi has brought attention to the dissatisfied Indian fishermen who were prohibited from accessing the waters surrounding the island under a 1976 agreement between the neighbours. He is now exerting pressure on Sri Lanka to give India ownership of Katchatheevu Island. New Delhi is offering Sri Lanka financial aid in exchange. On the other hand, according to the mutual agreement struck in 1974, Sri Lanka owned the island during Indira Gandhi's government. However, Modi also criticized the late Indira Gandhi during a rally. Modi is willing to do whatever it takes to win the election. Before the election, he made up a new version of Desh Rakhwali's negligence tale. On April 3, the Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka, Ali Sabri, stated on the national television network Hiru, Sri Lanka does not see any need to reopen talks on a controversial island leased to it by New Delhi 50 years ago. The quiet territorial dispute became a contentious electoral topic in India. There is no need to have any more conversations about this issue because it was addressed and settled 50 years ago. No one had yet raised the question of a change in the status of the island, located 33 kilometers (21 miles) off India's coast in the Palk Strait that divides the neighbors, the statement continued, so I don't think it will come up. His remarks followed after Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party accused the opposition Congress Party of ruthlessly giving away the 285-acre, 115-hectare, island, turning it into a campaign topic. Following its defeat in the previous election for any of the southern states' 39 seats in India's 545-member parliament, the BJP is attempting to gain electoral ground in the coastal state of Tamil Nadu, which faces the island. The first of 7 rounds of voting in Tamil Nadu is scheduled for April 19 and is expected to conclude on June 1. The statement said, unhappiness over the transfer and the abridged rights spurred two as of yet unresolved Supreme Court challenges in the last 20 years. India ceded the island to Sri Lanka in 1974 and signed the Fisheries Pact in 1976. Since the no-fishing agreement was implemented 20 years ago, Sri Lanka has detained over 6,000 Indian fishermen and 1,175 fishing vessels, Reuters continued. This was announced on Monday, April 1, 2024. Regarding this, an article published on April 3, 2018, on foreignpolicy.com stated, Sri Lanka presents its unique brand of strategic autonomy. Recent terrorist attacks in Pakistan highlight the risk to Chinese laborers and infrastructure in the nation, and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi aims to influence voters in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. It said, most governments in South Asia, including Sri Lanka, have non-aligned foreign policies that balance their ties with major powers. This enhances their strategic autonomy, the capacity to act independently on the international scene and exercise diplomatic flexibility. It said, in the meantime, Sri Lanka has expanded its economic connections with China and is home to several significant Chinese infrastructure projects. President of Sri Lanka Ranil Wickremesinghe has also adopted Beijing's stance on important matters, such as the AUKUS security alliance that unites the United States, Australia, and the United Kingdom. Though Sri Lanka may operate with a dedication to strategic autonomy, its goals are based as much on practicality as they are on morality. The nation desperately needs financial support due to a severe economic catastrophe. When it functions with all primary powers, achieving that aim is easy. According to foreignpolicy.com, South Asia has developed into a theater of geopolitical conflict, placing pressure on the non-aligned states in the area to choose a side. However, up until now, Sri Lanka has effectively managed this situation, illustrating the ability of nations in the Global South to uphold multipolarity in the existing international system. Under the heading, India and China's tug-of-war over Sri Lanka, India aims to thwart China's plans to use the island as a marine hub on its Belt and Road, according to the diplomat. Beijing recently made significant infrastructure investments in Sri Lanka as part of its String of Pearls policy. It aims to establish a naval presence throughout South Asia by constructing ports and other facilities in friendly nations like Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Pakistan. The extension is a component of the One Belt, One Road (OBOR) initiative. This new trade route connects China with the West and is supported by infrastructural investments totaling billions of dollars. India has been watching with unease, fearing that China is expanding into its sphere of influence and weakening its commercial and cultural ties to the island, where a minority of Tamil people live as the offspring of indentured labourers from the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu during the colonial era. To rebalance ties with the rival regional powers, Maithripala Sirisena, the president of Sri Lanka, has reached out to New Delhi, and Prime Minister Modi is eager to respond. It also noted that during the administration of Mahinda Rajapaksa, Sirisena's predecessor, Sri Lanka sought Chinese diplomatic and economic support when the West threatened to impose sanctions on Colombo for transgressions related to its struggle with Tamil rebels. After the civil war ended in 2009, China became the country with the highest investment in Sri Lanka, investing hundreds of millions of dollars to create new projects and repair infrastructure damaged by the conflict. Nonetheless, New Delhi was displeased with Sri Lanka's improved ties with Beijing. That's correct, the Modi administration now sees Colombo as a target. In actuality, establishing hegemony in the area is the goal of Modi's campaign. In this regard, the world is aware of the false flag operation that occurred in Pulwama, Pakistan, under Modi's leadership, as well as the ongoing horrors inflicted upon the Kashmiri people during India's illegal occupation of their territory. Additionally, under no circumstances can any South Asian nation recognize India's monopoly. However, the divisive Prime Minister Modi is carrying out his evil plans to maintain Indian sway over the area. Undoubtedly, as the election draws near, Narendra Modi has begun employing cunning strategies to boost his popularity. Thus, Modi's unwarranted cunning diplomacy has turned Sri Lanka into a target.